here in a second. We'll get this one right here in a minute, then we'll get this other one up and running. So we can change that.
Are y'all still warm in there?
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Oh,
do
I'm
I need to
fine.
get a fan? Okay. When I'm about to go that way, and I'm not coming back because I know y'all about to go on.
Yeah, you might want to shut that door too and just say.
I know you just didn't say yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Live video. What's up, guys? If you're on YouTube, we're trying to still get set up on Facebook. So if you give us a moment, we will have this up and running for all of you. So we are working on this. If you'll give us another minute. There we go. We're going to do this one vertical like that. We just have to squeeze in. So be it.
Yeah. I can slide over some.
Then my buddy Nate gives me a hard time if I ain't on time.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir. So if y'all just tuning in, please share this on our Facebook. On our YouTube. And we're about to go live. Let's see what time it is. It's 7 o'clock, Billy.
Wow. Just for you, Nate.
Just for you. We're going to be on time. Look at that. Look at that. I want to make sure I show everybody my watch. Look at that. Let me see. What time is it? What time is it? I want somebody to get on here and tell me what time it is. I believe it might be 7:01 now. I believe I squeaked in there, Billy. I believe we squeaked in there with like 10 seconds left. That's faster. That's some of our cars be actually faster than that. I want somebody to get on here and tell me what time. Turn this volume down so we can see some of these people. What's up, y'all? If you're just jumping on, make sure you're sharing this to your own personal feeds. Y'all see who I got here with me? Y'all see that Chevrolet symbol back there too, don't you, man?
Chevrolet symbol.
So make sure, I want you to share this. If some of y'all are in our racers group too, make sure one of you shares that to our group. Yeah, share it to your personal pages if you will. We're gonna give it a few minutes. I'm gonna be looking at two different cameras a little bit here tonight. Got a little different setup going on. We are live on our Facebook channel and our YouTube channel. So if you see us looking at different cameras, just bear with me tonight. We're gonna get this thing up and running. I see 4 of you on right now on Facebook. You'll probably see me on there talking a little bit more than you will to YouTube, but I can try to slide it over here so it's a little bit better. So once again, I got Billy Shearer here tonight. We're gonna answer a few questions from some of you guys. Appreciate him coming on board. I'm gonna get rid of my gun just for you guys. I'm telling you, we're gonna be entertaining this year, so bear with us. Once again, if you are tuning in tonight, welcome to Ten5 Madness. You are as new at this as what we are.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is a brand new season.
Really excited about it.
So I just real quick before we get a lot of people on here, I hit up Billy. I was like, Billy, so what's going on at KDS this year with small tire?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we've been stewing over some things, and I said, well, I got an idea I'd like to talk to you about. He said, well, let's get through Christmas and everything. We'll talk a little bit more about it. Everybody knows that time of the year. It's a busy time. So I sent him over some information, and of course he spoke it over with Bobby Smith.
Yeah.
Bobby Smith has you come to the track, and what do you do at the track, Billy?
So basically I help manage it. I do some announcing, help with some sponsorship, whatever needs to be done, really.
So me coming to you and saying, hey man, I'd like to put on a series, it might take a little load off of you to concentrate on some of the other stuff. It could,
absolutely. Absolutely. So when Ernie approached it, we kind of looked at what our Thursday night program was, what it has been, and where it has progressed now. I think the list racing has kind of ran its course. and that's not anything about Kinston. It's just list racing in general. If you look at like the Oklahoma guys that started it, they're not even doing it anymore. So all that's kind of ran its course, and Ernie approached us with this brand new format here, and I think it's really neat. And KDS is going to give it its support, and hopefully you guys will too, racers and fans.
So, I see you got just a few of you on here. I want to make sure the feed's coming through good. If you could give us some thumbs up, let us know you're hearing us okay. And once again, some of you guys share it to Facebook groups, Ten5 Life, or the Racers group, if you will, if you're in that Racers group. So, Ten5 Madness, I come to Billy and say, hey man, I got an idea for something. It's kind of along the lines of March Madness basketball. I'm not going to say I had a baby. But March Madness basketball merges with small tire racing. And so I come to these guys with an idea and said, I'd like to do a field of cars, but we got to break it up to where it's doable on Thursday nights. So appreciate that, Willie. So I brought this idea to him, me and Dan. We talked about it for a while, beat each other up over it a little bit, and shout out to Dan, who helps a lot with this. And we took it to Billy and Bobby, and so they said, you know what, if you can work it out where we're sure these guys are going to be there, we would love to support it. So we know we were facing an uphill battle to bring a new series to you guys. We're still going to be working through the process, at least for this first year. We're hoping we can do this for a couple of years as we all learn and grow through it this first year. But we are doing this first year a 32 car field. And the reason we're doing that is because we can break it up into pairs of 8. On a Thursday night, what time's the track normally open up?
Track usually opens up at 5:30. Try to run first round 6:30, 7 o'clock-ish.
So test and tune usually opens around 6 or so?
Yeah, test and tune will go hot around 6.
So
we kind of fill in from there.
And so let's go with your time your track opens up. First, the track opens up around 5. The track tries to go hot around 6 or so.
Yeah.
And what time is the curfew?
Curfew depends on the time of the year, but we try to be out of there by 11.
So out by 11. So
yeah.
You guys know as well as I do, anything can happen. I mean, we're going to be racing on test and tune nights, the first Thursday of the month. I'll be sharing that throughout the year. I'll share it when I get off of here, the schedule we come up with. We will be starting in April, but we will be doing these races on test and tune nights. So we roughly have about 4 to 5 hours.
Yep. And remember, in April, it is still a school night for all the kids in the neighborhood. So we are very, conscientious of that. We want to be good neighbors to our surrounding areas with noise and stuff like that. So,
So I come to him with this idea. I said, can we do 8 cars? I first thought about doing 16, but we just want to make it fair on this deal. So these guys, they're going to be racing this Ten5 Madness series. We already got 32 guys that have committed to locking in. We're working right now to get them a paid lock-in by February 1st. So we can guarantee you guys that when you come out and pay your money to come in the gate, you're getting a show. You know exactly what you're getting, and we're going to do everything in our power to implement that this season. We think it's very important. We care about your investment into the local track, into the program that we're doing. And we want to give back to you guys too by putting on a good show. So it's going to take the track doing its part, me and Dan doing our part, the racers doing their part, and of course you, the fans, supporting, sharing, inviting your friends. I know some people that started relationships at the track. I mean, literally. And so you don't never know what family you're going to grow at the track. So to get back to why this series is and what it is, some of you have heard this before, but I'll just reiterate it if you're new here tonight. It's a 8-car shootout series. So we're going to run 4 shootouts in the first half of this season and 4 shootouts in the second half of this season. So what these racers are going to do, we're going to have a preseason meeting. All 32 that is paid in are going to come to that meeting. They're going to be invited to that meeting. These 32 are the first that responded to me when I first put this filler out of trying to have a series. And so they're getting the first crack at this. The ones who supported in the beginning, we wanted to show them love, and so they got the first crack at this. We'll be opening it up to a few others that's reached out since then. If you have reached out to me, I've got your name written down. If you haven't, then please hit me up. I definitely want to get you in here because we're going to talk about something else in a few minutes. We're just going to touch on it tonight, but we're going to speak about something else too. So, I mean, Harry Darnell, what kind of relationships? Some good friendships. Some you might have a buddy that's got a lift in his garage and he's become your best friend. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if you got a buddy that's got a lot of tools, or a lift, I mean that
tools, somewhere to work, a good back.
You might even meet somebody's dog out there, and that's your new favorite dog. So I mean, it could be anything out there. Even the track staff, I've become good friends with some of the track staff, great people, and I love getting to see them every night. But this series, the way it's worked, these first guys got a crack at it. So once they get locked in, we're gonna have our preseason meeting where they come there and they'll draw chips. We're going to have chips in the first bag for race number 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 times 8 is 32. So they'll draw those chips, and that'll dictate what night they come out and what other 7 racers they're up against. They will draw out a second chip bag for the second half of the season. So they'll be racing twice throughout the year. But they'll draw out a 1 chip bag for the first half of the season and draw out a second chip bag for the second half of the season. The 8 winners from all 8 races, we will have a championship race on Halloween night.
Yep.
We're planning to have a trunk or treat. We're still working on a few more details for that. And the day after the championship night, where we'll have racers there testing, tuning along with the championship racing. The guys are in the series. They'll be there testing, tuning that night, getting ready for the next day. The following Saturday, we'll have a all-in shootout of everyone who's been in the series all year long. And like I said, we're still planning a few things around that too, that the track wants to do. Showing slow connection. So you guys can hear me all right? Please still give me the thumbs up. So the way this works, once they draw the chips, we know who's racing when. They'll be coming out on their night that the chip dictates. We'll be doing a shakedown. They'll have to be in the lanes at 6:45 for a shakedown. Once the shakedown's done, they'll come back to the lanes at 7:45 for first round chip draw. We'll do the 8 cars. At 8:45 will be the 4 cars. And at 9:30, 9:45, we're going to try to have the last 2 cars in the lanes, pairing for their lanes. So we can try to get this thing wrapped up around 9:45, 10 o'clock. The reason we're doing it this way is, like I said, we have a small amount of time. We don't want to run over top of everyone that is out there testing tuning, because there's going to be a lot of you that might be having a race that weekend. You want to come out there and get some good prep, or get some good testing in. So we don't want to just dominate the test and tune night, but we want you to come in there and get some bang for your buck as a spectator, seeing our guys come out there and put on a show for you. A lot of the local guys, they care to support the track. That's the reason they're doing this. And the local guys are getting ready for a race that weekend. Bracket racers. Billy knows a lot of bracket racers. And just some of your local guys just want to test and tune their cars. So we don't want to dominate, but we want to put on a show that's doable. And if there is a mishap that night, maybe we got a little bit of a cushion to work with. Because I don't know about you. When I pay my money to come in the gate, I want to know what's going on, what I'm paying for, and I want to see a winner and go home and have something to brag about on Friday when I go back to work.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not about one person. It's not about KDS. It's not about me and Dan. It's not about the racers. It's not about the spectators. It's about us working together to have some fun this year. And I told Billy, I said, and I'm telling all you, I'm gonna give all the glory to somebody up there, and we pull it all off and everyone's safe. So we've been on here for a few minutes. I'm not going to take you too long tonight. Look at me, I just covered it the whole face, Billy, on YouTube. So if you have some friends that may not be on Facebook, make sure you're going over to our YouTube channel and sharing that with them as well. But I had some racers asking me some questions about rules, and I'm just going to clarify them tonight real quick. While Billy is here, and he'll be able to explain one thing in particular to you. But the rules still are as stands. 28, 10, 5, no W. No W. No radials, No W's. You can run 26s if you're that brave. They still have to be slicks and they can't be radials. You can only use water as a coolant, and this rules really apply to the racers that are going to be locked into the series. But stay tuned. I just want you to hear one little thing that we're going to touch on a little bit later about these rules. So you can only use water as a coolant. No other fluids in the radiator. I mean, some of you guys use ice to cool your cars or whatever. We just need something that if it leaks a little bit, they can get it cleaned up quick. We can't have anything holding us up because that we could have prevented. Speaking on that, we are implementing, you got to have diapers this year. We're speaking of leaks, have them diapers on, guy. Most of these guys will be running bracket style cars. I know some of the cars still got the A-frame underneath them. It's a little bit harder to put that on there, but try to help us out so we can get these races in. These guys are going to be racing for a decent amount of money on Thursday night, and so we want to try to get this race in. That's our goal, is to get the race in for the track, for us, once again, the racers and the spectators. You must have a working tail light on the car, and it be on when it gets dark. I mean, that's basically a rule.
That's general rule racing 101.
I mean, nobody wants to be down track because your car cut off and us not be able to see when you turn off. I mean, we got the safety crews down there, and they keep an eye on that. But we just keeps the flow of things. We're not holding up guys that just come out of the water box because we know you got off the track. I mean, you come out of the water box, your car's getting hot, your tires are getting cold. We want to get you guys down the track safely, off the track, and the next pair up. Door cars only. We're not limited in the chassis this year. You guys know about what we're asking for. This is basically a blue collar racing series. We want cars running up and down the tracks that the spectators can say, I could build a car like that. Maybe one day a year I could get into this series. So we're not limited in that. Door cars only. 400s Pro Tree. We're going to have it on a 7-second courtesy. So if you're bumping in on nitrous or if you're bumping in on turbo, try to talk to your racer in advance. Let him know that you're coming in. We don't want transmissions getting burned up. This is, like I said, this is a blue collar. These guys will probably be at work that Thursday morning and take their cars with them to work and show up to the track that afternoon. So we're going to keep that 400 Pro treats, and we're going to put on a 7-second start.
7-second start. We can do that.
Which that's pretty simple. No wheelie bars. We're not going to allow wheelie bars. We want this to be a fun, exciting show, which most of the guys I know that are coming this year, they're not going to be running wheelie bars anyways. And then we'll get into the last rule that is known is the all track safety rules apply. So we're going to require a front clip on our cars. So you got to have all four corners. You got to have fenders. You got to. I'm not going to get into the steel roof, steel this, steel that. If it's fiberglass clip, I mean, like I said, it's blue collar. Come run your front clip. But we want all four corners on your car. So once again, the spectators that are there, they see cars like what they could build or what they might have sitting in their backyard and be inspired to build them up. With that said, having all four corners, we are not going to require you to have a hood. You're not, because some of these guys, they run no prep on the weekends. That's because you can't wheelie. I see that, Michael Hill. I don't know, man. I've been seeing your car on back of the track, man. I've seen on front tires coming off the ground there, but I ain't going to tell nobody. You are the reigning champ on 26s. You do have a win underneath your belt on 26s. And I keep hearing you say you're going to come out on 26s this year. So don't be shooting too much smoke. And so with us not having the hood requirement, there's one rule. Like I said, all track safety rules apply. KDS is a WDRA sanctioned track. So the one rule with that is if you're not running the hood, we got to have a scoop.
Yeah. All carburetors have to have a flash cover. So an air filter works. Just screw an air filter on top of it. Just can't be an open carburetor. You got to protect the fuel from getting airborne. So
if
you don't have a hood, if you do not have a hood.
So if you don't have a scoop on your car, if it's a plexiglass scoop, if you don't have it on your car per their WDRA rules, I mean, we've got to have that in there, and that is track safety rules. I know that's one that we hadn't really discussed. It was brought to my attention first by Eddie at the gate, and he's actually one of the racers that is talking with us about locking in. So I mean, one of the racers brought that to my attention, and then of course, I took it to Billy and Bobby, and they said yes, that is one of our rules, especially per the WDRA requirements. So we're fortunate that we're gonna be able to run at this track this year. It's kind of like, how about turbos without hoods? If it's fuel injected,
fuel injecting doesn't matter. That's a carburetor rule only.
it's a carburetor rule per IHRA.
WD, all of them are the same.
So most all these sanctions do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're not gonna be able to run a organized series in per se without having this in place. We don't want to have any infractions going on the track because of that, and we want everybody safe. So that's the one other rule. Like I said, the diapers, we need that on there in case you guys have a spill or a leak or something. We already went over that. The open carburetors. If you have any more questions, reach out to me or Billy. We'll try to get you some details on that. I asked what the specs were on that. It just has to be something to contain the fuel from backlash.
Yeah, they call it flash cover. So
a flash cover.
Yeah.
So once again, if you have any more questions on that, please let us know. The racers that have already locked in, you guys are awesome. I had a couple of you buy me and Dan coffee this morning. That might be why I'm so wired.
Yeah.
But appreciate that. It helped warm us up.
So I know, Willie, you had a question about that. Does buying the coffee get them a first round buy?
No. I told
It's
Billy.
8 cars, there are no buys.
I told any extra perks you give me and Dan, that just we will talk to the other photographers there, or me and Dan if we're there doing photography live. We'll try to capture your car before the other car puts a gap on you. If we're gonna post pictures, we'll try to do the pre-gap pictures. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, we get lots. Hopefully, we're not getting a lot of coffee, but I mean, hopefully, there's a lot of side-by-side racing. Yeah. So with that said, the racers that are in the group, I did want to highlight that on this actual Facebook page, anytime if you're new here or if you are a long-time listener to Ten5 Life or Ten5 Madness now, if you've been here for a couple months now, I made a post today. It is a live chat post, which is basically a picture that we're going to be able to comment anytime. So if you got a question, you want to post something funny, I mean, keep it PG-13. There'll be some kids that see this too. If it gets too radical, but I mean, within reason, we're gonna have some fun this year. This is gonna be a family-friendly event. So, like I said, we want to have fun. I'm looking forward to that championship race on Halloween night. It's really cool this happened on Halloween night.
Yeah.
Working on getting sponsors for that.
Schedule worked out.
Yeah.
So planets aligned.
So the biggest issue anyone should really have this year, Lord willing, is the weather and the chip draw giving you somebody you didn't want or even one of your race team members. So if the chip draw and the weather, we're hoping the track's planning on doing their part. Me and Dan plan to do our part. And once again, we're inviting you to come out as racers and spectators to do your part. If you're a sponsor and you're interested in helping support this program, most of that's going to go back to the racers. We want to have some stuff, we're getting trailer checks and things of that nature to help promote you guys. But definitely reach out, hit up me, hit up Dan. If you get it to Billy, if you have a question, he'll get it back to me. But me and Dan are really we're just trying to run this program smoothly. We're transparent with it. You can ask any racers. We're staying on top of letting them know what's going on. And we just really appreciate your time tonight with what we got going on. If you're a racer tuning into this tonight and you are in the invitation list and you haven't locked in, you got a little bit of time left. February 1st, I got to have you locked in, or else we're moving to the next person on the list. We're going to have this thing locked in, so after our meeting on March 1st, we're going to be able to start putting it out. We're going to be putting out a list of what night you're going to come to see your favorite racer. We want you to come to all these races. We want you to come to every single one of them, but especially on the one that you've got some racers that you love and you support. You love their cars. And we want you to be there. We're going to be putting out posters so you can take them home, fill it out, keep up with the season all year long. We're going to be putting on basically March Madness on wheels. So we're looking forward to this. Can't thank you guys enough. Those racers that haven't locked in yet and are wanting to, or that are in the list, make sure you get with me as soon as possible. If you haven't got with me and you're interested in this, get your name to me so I can write that down, because that's one thing I'm going to touch on. We get this locked in. I talked with Billy and we talked with Bobby a little bit. We get this secured because this is what we're focusing on. With enough interest, we're going to be talking more about the possibilities of other events for guys in the series, and maybe even some guys that are outside the series that'll still run on this same rule set. There's nothing guaranteed on that right now. You guys have got to show us that you support this, that you want to come out and have a good time with your family. You love your local track. You love your local racer. You love small tire racing in general, and you show us love, and I'm going to do everything I can to advocate to get some love from the track and put on more shows for you guys. I feel like it's going to be a great year. Once again, I'm going to give all the glory to the man upstairs. I'm praying, starting today, for good weather, and we're just going to be waiting to get these rest of these guys locked in. If they're not locked in, if something has changed to where they can't lock in, we're going to be opening it up to the next guys on the list. So, Michael Phillips, we appreciate you. Willie Toller, we appreciate you being a good advocate of it. And once again, just help get the word out. If you got friends that aren't even on social media, please send them over to our YouTube channel. That's the easy way for them to keep up with what's going on. In the process of setting up a phone line, if they don't have any of that whatsoever, they'll be able to call and get an update through a voicemail of what's going on. We're really trying to be interactive this year, get the word out, show some love to our track. Me and Dan, we like cheeseburgers and coffee, obviously. I don't know about Dan. I was picking on Dan about the coffee. I had to figure out what his favorite drink is. But Billy, anything you want to add?
I just want to say I'm very impressed with the list of racers that you put together so far, and probably a good list of alternates too. So if you are on that original list, I know he's posted it to the Facebook page. Go ahead and either get your money in, let's make that happen, because it is really important that we lock in those 32 racers. You can't do the chip draw without it. That's kind of like the stepping stone that has to happen before anything else. So get with Ernie. He's done a great job putting together a good rule set that I think a lot of people can fit in. And again, a lot of interest already with probably 10 alternates. So in there, so get your money in. Let's get your commitment so he can count on those 32. And it's 2 races. One in. Well, you could pull a 1 and a 2 though, couldn't you?
No, you could pull the closest you can have is a 4 and a 5, and it'll be that's the closest you'll have together.
Okay.
So
so first half and second half. So you're looking at two Thursday nights from April to October that you would be committed to participate. I think that's a fantastic deal. Now you can come out and test and tune, and we're going if the racers, their commitment is there, we'll do some other stuff at the track. We'll throw some shootouts and have some other participation races for you. So again, I just encourage everybody to lock it in, get Ernie your entry fee so you can put your name on the list, or either move to one of these alternates, fill this 32 up, and we'll go from there. Have a good time.
Who knows? We might talk them into doing something on top of a bracket day one day. I don't know. That's me speaking. They're not saying that. It's me. But, I mean, we show some love back to the track. That was my stomping grounds. I grew up out there, and I want to see the tracks, keep being doing well. Any promoter that's out there, they're putting on series at their local tracks. Please support your local tracks. It's very important to show love to your tracks on the weekends, on test and tune nights. Ask these guys if they're hungry if you see them.
I don't miss many meals.
You see any of these racers, if you go by their businesses, tell them thank you for entering into this. We greatly appreciate their support. But definitely stay warm this year. Stay tuned to this channel. We have some more stuff come up. We will be going live, and I'll try to give you enough heads up on that. But definitely we'll be going live on the first Thursday in February, and we'll be going live the first Thursday in March after this this meeting. But we're hoping we can get these guys. I'm hoping at least the next time I come to you, the first Thursday in February, we've got our 32 locked in. We got some alternates locked in.
That would be nice.
And we've got enough interest that we could say, hey guys, maybe we could do something else. So once again, if you got any interest in this, you got questions, reach out to me. I'll try to respond to you as much as I can. Try to stay warm. You got more questions about this scoop stuff? Like I said, it's pretty simple. You got to have some kind of cover on it to contain it. And just get with us. I'm not going to take any more of your time. It's been 30 minutes. We hope all of you are staying warm. That's
all I got, brother.
Stay tuned to KDS Motorsports Facebook page. If you haven't gone to like that, make sure you're following that. Please, it's free to do it. Go to our page and share it with your friends. Invite them to come to this. They may be looking something to get into or something to come hang out this coming year, and we want them to come spend time with us. So tag some of your sponsor friends. Tell them to hit me and Dan up. We won't be hard. We won't be too hard on them. We want to give back to our local community racers track, and we want to put on a show for you guys. And I can't thank you enough for your 30 minutes or so tonight that you spent here with us. I'm excited, man. I can't wait for the chip draw. I can't wait to see who's gonna be paired up, and just have a great time. And Willie Toller, if you climbing that junior dragster, man, we gonna have to see about you and Rich. And I'm not even gonna say his last name. I murder it every time. You and Rich and Michael Hill. If y'all want to do that junior race with the adults in it, I mean, we might could figure that out. I'll do the arm drop. Just let me know. So I won't take up any more of your time. Please stay tuned to this group. If you want to laugh, go find that featured post on our page and say what's up. We'll talk to you guys soon. No. I might take it to the track and put it on the starting line. Blaney, what do you think? Right there. You'll even be able to read it correctly. It's backwards right now. So, anyways, guys, we appreciate your time. I'm going to let Billy get back to his stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
Thanks,
Bobby.
Good job.
And we'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Take care. YouTube, appreciate you tuning in tonight. Share this with a friend, especially any of those that may not be on Facebook or social media. We want to try to get everyone out this year and give them room to end this series. So appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.